So I injured my right knee in a fight with a wall. Oh, it was a fence, actually. I was trying to, I was doing like a running jump and put the hands on the top of the fence thing and then jump over. But I guess the last time I did that was a long time ago. Because when I ran to the fence, I went up, I put my hands here, and I brought my leg up to go over, and my leg just went boom. Like it wasn't even close. I looked like like a cartoon fucking person crushed against the wall. It was really dumb, but you know, the last time I did something like that, I went right over. But you know, I'm 50 now, and I don't know the last time I took a running jump to get over a fence. In any case, I have a bit of a leg injury here. It's not too bad. You know, unfortunately, I can't go to a hospital or even a doctor because that's not the kind of world we live in anymore. I would have to do certain things that I'm never going to do. Fuckers. And so that's the end of that. I'll have to do some home remedy stuff. But so it made me think a lot about thought forms again, which is the name they use for constructs in magical practice. But it's not, you know, it's also something that can be used in a lot of different ways, but it's the idea of conceptualizing something in the ether that will then have an effect on you here physically in the 3D. I talked about transforming your darkness recently, did a real great, she gave a real great example of that, and she summed up in like, I don't know, 10 minutes what it would take me 45 to do. Some people just have a knack for delivering this information much better. So I was trying to heal myself, you know, and I've done this kind of thing before. And one thing I've noticed, right, is when you're doing something for yourself, whether it's protection or healing or some kind of thing, it's not nearly as effective as when you, in my experience, is when you're putting it toward another person or another situation, mainly things you don't necessarily benefit from directly. It seems to work that way. And, you know, you think, well, that kind of sucks, you know, but we can all do this. So the idea, I suppose, is that you do it for other people can do it for you. You know, my wife was like, yeah, my mom and dad are praying for you for the leg. And I'm like, tell them, you know, thank you, because that really works. And I used to think when people would say, yeah, I'm praying for you, like, yeah, whatever, fucking, what good is that? But what it does is it creates a thought form. It's all intent. You know, they're sending me healing energy, basically. You don't have to sit down and go, okay, I'm going to send this person healing energy. And then you construct a thought form that's very complex and detailed. I like to do that because I think the more you put into your thought forms, the better result you get here in the 3D. But by saying, even if her parents said that, like I was explaining to her, what it does, it's intent with will. So they're putting that out into the universe. Now, how Regan over at Transforming the Darkness described it, she was talking about healing as well, and like heart healing, and her way to explain the constructs was really good. And it's funny because she was using tubes, which I do that a lot too. You know, when a few months ago, I was sending good vibes to my wife's dad, and I was explaining to her a good way to do it. And I'm like, just imagine there's a tube running from you to your dad, wherever he is. It'll find him. Now, you're sending him healing energy or good energy. Pick a color. I always imagine healing green. And now imagine going into his body, just make a silhouette of his body, like a glass, you can see through it. And it's full of red color. What you're trying to do is get the green in there to push the red out. That's just a way of conceptualizing a thought form. You know, I believe that And in my limited experience with it over the past few years, I found that the more detail you can add to your thought form, the better it works. My whole deal is figure out the parameters of your thought form, what it looks like, what colors you're using, all that kind of stuff. However much detail you want to put in it is up to you. But then what you do is you set it so that it runs on a loop in the background. So instead of like sending a tube or your thoughts, and you can't really see this stuff, although sometimes you can. So I guess I just that sentence is, or those that whatever. You can it happens someplace, like I always say, between eyesight and thought. It's in that area there. So what you want to do is get down the parameters of whatever spell, or what it basically, going to use that term, and then you set it to loop just by saying that in your mind, like, all right, I'm going to set this on a repeat, and then you let it run in the background like you would a computer program. Like, you just imagine it being in the back of your mainframe there, or hard drive, and you're letting it run. Occasionally you check in on it, you know it's there. And I think when you forget about it over time, it stops, it goes away. But as long as you remember it periodically, I think it'll keep doing that. Whether or not consigning something to the background and having it still be effective, that's something that's I need to experiment a bit more on, and it's up for debate. There's not a lot of people that talk about this shit, so you know, I mean, you could look at these esoteric tomes and stuff, and I'm not reading that shit. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I'm just not. Whatever. The stuff comes to you. You know, like, I'm not saying recently, like, these things just show up in your memory one day. It's really bizarre how it's working out. But I noticed something about being in a room. It can intensify those kind of things, and I think it has something to do with the black globe, tesseract kind of, whatever, it's sacred geometry, I don't know what it's called, but I think by being in a room, in a box with the four walls, it can sometimes intensify those energies, or that will. And a lot of times, it can have negative results too. Not just when you're doing constructs, but any kind of emotion or intent, if you get pissed off about something. When you're in a room, you tend to stew, because it's like that square is intensifying the energy. There's a reason everything's built in squares, why they put us in squares and buildings, and it can't be good, because everything is weaponized against you. But that's just the thing about the square and the intensification of energies or emotional energy. That's something that I'm kind of just spitballing about. But yeah, taking this back to my knee, I feel like it wasn't all that effective when I was trying to do something for myself. And I've run into this in the past too. It feels like if you do something for someone else, it works much better. And I guess the idea is we all can do it. We're supposed to do it for each other, you know? Like, you see these people that kind of do an offshoot of this, like, manifest millions, manifest a girlfriend. That shit, those people are fucking grifters. I don't care. They are. They're grifters. God isn't going to make you rich. And if you think that's an important thing to you, then, I mean, I don't know. You gotta check your divinity, yo. Because that's not going to do nothing for you. More money, more problems, I believe. The English playwright Phidias Didius said that. All right. That's it. That's it. I'm done. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.